أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. This is second of the lecture regarding the series of the ethics in the information system. In the previous short video, I have recorded the content regarding the information system basics. And now we should move towards the other aspects of the information system. And after covering those aspects of the information system which are important to the organization, we'll move towards the ethics part. So let's start. These are some of the basic contents that we need to address in this recording. The content is in relevance for the information systems, the specific digital convergence, the changing business environments, information and knowledge economy, and further after we are having contemporary approach to the information systems, technical and the behavioral approach, and then comes the management challenges. Will not be interested in the management challenges because they are the other aspect of the information systems, which are basically not the part of the focus for this course. So we'll be going towards the part one to part five, and after that we'll be moving towards the ethical aspects, and that will be from another book. So let's talk about this one. As I've already told you, management information system has historically been used in different organizations, but the typical way of the management and the organization of this system was totally different. Previously, it was considered to be systematic arrangement of multiple resources, which include the paper pen sort of environment, the physical mode, registers sort of thing, humans, and the record keeping area, physical rooms, and the other required material as well. So this was supposed to be the older system. So management information system is an old management tool which has been long been used by the people for better management and scientific decision making. Uh, the main aspect regarding the information system is it's basically dependent on data, information, and knowledge base, as I have told you in the previous video, which is these are basically the vital ingredients of the information system, management information system. Uh, so let's move towards what again. Let's summarize what is an information system. Uh, the modern information system is based on the concept that we are having certain digital sort of environment. That is we are having the digital resources for performing the basic functions that are compulsorily required for the information system. That is the capturing of data. That could be automated. That could be manual in nature. Like if we are using the keyboard, it is human control environment, and if we are using the scanners, then it is automated. Like the inventory controls at different warehouses. They use robotic machines, and they use the conveyor belts, and the barcode are basically placed on the top of the boxes, and the boxes are placed on the conveyor belts. And they keep on moving, and the scanners are placed over the conveyor belts, and they automatically read the information. That simply means that there is no human control over that. That's totally automatic in nature. So this is the first part. That's the capturing of the information, then restructuring the information, then a storage of the information, and then after that, retrieval of the information. These are some of the basic functions that need to be performed by the information system. And the modern information systems are basically based on digital environment. So that simply means that we need scanners, we need barcode readers sort of thing, that are basically category of scanners. We need printers, we need computing machines, and support hardware. And after having all this hardware, we need to interact all the hardware together. So we need the different types of the networks. So if the content is within a small place, then we need a local area network. And if the content is not not in a relatively smaller place, then we need to have the larger scale of the network, and then we go for the extranet sort of thing. So this is not the basic focus of the study, so I'll not be explaining the extranets or the intranets. So I'll be directly moving to the other components. So as far as the information system is concerned, all these different computational resources, all these different hardwares, they are being integrated together at a single location. That's single resource. And that's not the end of the story. These sort of resources are available at multiple nodes. and those nodes are being networked together. And this is the hardware side of the story. There's another part of the story, and that is the software. The basic software that's being required for that is the system level software that controls the hardware, like device drivers, like machine controllers, like the operating system for the computing devices. And after that, we need another layer of the application software, which is basically being designed and created for controlling the specific functionality of the information system. That is, if you are working with an information system that's basically intended for the warehouse, then uh, we are basically going to create a specific inventory control system for that. So this is the software part of the system, and all of these things are being integrated together to perform certain functionalities of the information system. So let's move further. uh, this Again, let's read some few lines from here. Information system is designed the collection of the elements that capture data and convert it in information and disseminate to the decision makers in an organization. So it's a better definition, but if you add like it's not basically only information part; it's data, information, and knowledge base. And if the modern information systems are taken into consideration, then it also has to integrate the hardware aspect and the software aspect of the systems. And after that, there comes the dissemination part, and that is compulsorily required for those who need the information after processing the information content. So this is basically the knowledge-based society, which we are going to discuss shortly in the same video. Now let's move further. Why there is a need for the information system? Like, let's take an example. If you're going to consider the example of, let's suppose, Imtiaz superstore or the metro or the macro sort of thing, then all these stores are having huge inventory levels. And if we are not going to automate all these things, and that is we are going for the manual system, then we have to check the individual racks for the total quantity of the items available over there. And after that, we need to have, before opening the store, we have to reconfigure the values in the system, in the manual system, that is the register and paper pen based system. And we have to take inventory at the beginning of the session, that's in the morning, and after the closing of the session, that is after the closing of the store. So that would be a very hectic process, that there are multi hundred or multi thousand racks in a single branch. And if you go for the specific number of items, then individual person need to visit the specific rack, and they have to count for the specific inventory level at that rack. So after that, that will be consolidated by the floor managers, and those floor managers will be consolidating it for the branch manager of the, let's suppose, Imtiaz or the metro sort of thing. And after that reconciliation, they will go for the sales aspect, and they will consider how much of the content has been sold out and how much of the cash has been received. And they are going to cross tally, if the inventory level at the morning was 100 items left for product A, let's suppose, and at the end of the day they have recorded that there are 47 items left, then there must be 53 items which are being sold out. So they must have cash for the 53 items. And if you think about the specific process, how long would it take for multi thousand products, because each of the store is having multi thousand products. If they are going to count manually, I don't think so they will be able to manage all these things within a few hours. I think it would be the next dawn, and then the morning of the next day, and they won't be able to open the store. So these sort of compelling requirements by the business, they require the information system. They compel you, they push you to the limits that you have to go for the automation of the system. And there comes the need of the information system. So whenever you're working with this sort of environment, the competitive business environment, you have to up to your toes, and you should have the information at your fingertips. Otherwise, the business is not going to perform as per the expectation. There will be loopholes, there will be inventory losses, and ultimately the business is going to suffer, and ultimately the business is going to shut down. And that's not being required by any of the businesses. uh, why business needs information technology? So I have answered all these questions. Support of the business operations. The information technology is being required to support the business operations, to support the managerial decision making, and support the strategic competitive advantage. So these are some of the reasons why we need information technology. What else? Emergence of the global economy. Uh, let's talk about a specific store which is working in a small area of the city. So that store if that store is just based on a brick and mortar environment, that cannot go beyond the limits. That cannot go beyond this specific area. He has to sell everything within the limits of the specific area, and the other people who may be willing to purchase all these things, they will not be able to access because it's far apart physically. So even within the city, people don't like to move around. So if you're having such an environment, then you will not be able to capitalize on whatever your strengths are. You'll not be able to sell everything to many of the people who are acquiring the same product or same type of the product. So if you're going to make that a click and mortar organization, then those people who are not living in the area, they can view your products. Like there are certain social media platforms which are available for the marketing purpose and for the sales and purchase as well. Like if you go for the social media, like if you go for the Facebook marketing, then you can have access to large community within the city and within the country as well. And even beyond that, like if you go to AliExpress sort of thing, or if you go to the Dara sort of thing, and Amazon sort of thing, all these things are beyond the national boundaries of any country. So this is basically the emergence of the global economy. uh, you can sell to anyone who is not living in the city or not even in the country. So that's basically the concept of the emerging global economy. Transformation of the business enterprise, that's very important. If there are physical processes and manual management within the organization, then you have to transform the procedures. And this procedure transformation is not an easy task. These are classified as business process re-engineering sort of thing, BPR. So I'll discuss this in next of in any of the next videos, because it's a separate topic, and it's very lengthy. Now let's talk about digital convergence. Digital convergence is basically a simple approach that whatever you are having regarding the data, information, and knowledge base, and that's easily being converted to the digital format. Like you can have multimedia. Multi means many, media means ways of communication. Multimedia means many ways of communication. So that could be based on audio, video, text, and graphics. Like if you're using WhatsApp, you can have any of these things: audio, video, text, and graphics. And if you're having a specific business who require all or any or few of these things, then you have to converge if you want to shift towards the information system, that is CBIS, computer based information system. So digital convergence is very important, and it's an approach by which all types of media and communication will be digitized, allowing them to be used through a single worldwide network. The speed and computing capacity of technology continues to advance at dazzling speeds, and in ways we can hardly imagine. So I've read the few lines regarding the digital convergence. Uh, Interactive multimedia. Uh, Nowadays we are having um, huge success in different businesses who have used different electronic media platforms uh, for for their business. Like now you can have chatbots. Now you can have certain, like for example, um, in the previous times we are having uh, data centers in which at which different people interact with the customers. They receive the call, and in Pakistan this thing is still in progress. Like humans receive the call, and you have to wait for longer period of time to be attended by the a specific person regarding your query within the business. Like the different banks, like the different mobile service provider companies, if you have any query, you have to wait for multiple minutes, or even for multiple of the minutes, like 20 30 minutes. So most of the people who require the service, they don't wait that much. So if you're having an interactive multimedia platform, like you have a specialized chatbots, and if you have a specialized like if you are having a knowledge about Cortana, like if you see here, let me share it first. uh, this is Microsoft Cortana, and if you speak certain thing to it, There's a specific piece of software. It's going to convert your speech to text, and that text will be searched within the computer, and and whatever you have searched, if it is available within the system, that will be popped out for you. So these things are basically changing the environment of the business. uh, let's move back uh, towards the book. So let me enlarge this thing. Okay. Why? Oh, we have. Okay. Here it is, interactive multimedia. So if you're having a support of all these things, your business can work 24 by 7, and you can work all around the clock for 24 hours for 7 days a week, and there are no humans which are involved in this process. And the bots and the other automated multimedia responsive content, they will be responding to your clients, and your clients will be happy that this business is responding to us in every possible way and facilitating us. So that would be a good thing for your business. uh, Role of information technology and the emergence of organizational forms. Let's skip this thing because it's not that much important. Network is structure. Network is basically, let me define these things in a very short manner because it's not the point of focus for this course. A network by itself is a collection of multiple hardware components that enable multiple devices, computational devices, to connect with each other and transfer different sort of data content among each other. So that was the basic concept of the network. Network is compulsorily being required for the information system because there are different systems which are working at different locations, even in the same floor. There are different people who are working for the organization, and every person is having a specific machine, and every machine should be connected with each other so that whatever the data set that's being acquired or that's being saved to the system, that's available on dynamic basis, that whenever the person enters the content, it should be available to everyone who is in relevance with that specific data set. Let's move further. uh, that's not much important. Let's move further. Let's talk about let's go to 15 directly. Okay. The changing the business environment. So how can you change the business environment with the information system? like uh, like I've already told you in an example, like if you take the example of Imtiaz Superstore, then that specific SO will not be able to function correctly if it's going towards the manual environment. Uh, the powerful worldwide changes have altered the environment of the business. No doubt, there's nothing in conflicting with this statement that I've read out from this specific book. These changes in the business environment and climate are classified into political, social, economical, and technological categories. We are not interested in the political sector. We are not also interested in social sector, and also not in the economical sector. We are basically interested in the technological category. And after that, we will be talking regarding the ethics, the social aspect of the in technology categories. So, environmental organizations and technological factors are creating highly competitive business environments where customers are the focal point. Further, environmental, organizational, and technological factors can change quickly, sometimes in an unpredictable manner. Obviously, there is an instant example in my mind regarding this thing. Like if you have designed certain specific item for a specific environment. Let's talk about Volkswagen. They have designed a car, Foxy, and that was specifically being made for the Europe environment. There was no radiator, there was no heat sink, and it was not required in the European environment because the temperature is on the lower side during the entire year. So when that car is exported to Pakistan, no doubt the car was an excellent one. No doubt the engine and all those things are the excellent one because Germans are basically perfectionists, so they prefer to settle the things in the best possible way. So when when that car was exported to Pakistan, many of the people purchased that specific car, and when they tried to uh, to make it a success in Pakistan, the company, they couldn't make it a success. That was in fact it was a failure in Pakistan. because of the reason that there was no heat sinks, there was no radiator in the car, and the average temperature in Pakistan during the summer, it's around something regarding 35 to 40 degrees Celsius, and that's quite huge. And when the engine was not being able to exhaust the heat towards the environment, the engine got seized. The machine, it didn't work out, and it was a failure. So like this thing, and that was a specific example regarding a specific machinery item that was being manufactured. Like there are many other examples. The business environment changes, the external factor changes, the product you are manufacturing for a certain group of people is not good for the others. So these sort of unpredictable changes, these are compelling factors for for keeping you on the toes. So for this, we need to adjust to the environment. We need to adjust to the environment in the least possible time, and all these things are basically challenging the business environment. IT and organizational design, most important thing. Whenever you are going towards the CBIS, as I have already told you, computer-based information system, that that must focus on certain things. The very first thing is whatever the business process you are following within the organization is standard operating procedure SOP. Whatever you're following within the business may not be applicable to the information system. Like in the previous times, we are having like sort of thing like if the inventory of a certain product goes towards the lower side, the people in the organization, they used to check the recs, they used to check the warehouse, and after that the report to the manager, and the manager records all those things and registers, and after that the registers are being concluded, and they come the summary after few days or even after few weeks, and after which the organization go for the purchase, like imtiaz sort of organization. So if they are working with a manual environment, they go for the purchase after 2 weeks, after 3 weeks. And if they are going to do the same, the business is going to fail, because the inventory, if it's not available, if the person who is coming to purchase for a certain specific category of things, and those things are not available on the racks, the next time the person will think whether he or she should go to the store or not, or he or she will go to another place. So so the specific procedure in the previous times, whatever you're working in the organization, that's not necessarily adjustable with the information technology adopted structure. So you need to re-engineer, business you need the business to re-engineer the processes. So what and how could be how could we manage the change, and how could we adopt the change, how we can transform the business? So IT enabled organizations transformation, that's on the positive side, and the basically few things that you need to consider. These are the 4 hours of the business transformation. uh, Reframing, reframing is basically shifting of the vision to a new resolve sort of thing. uh, like if you're having a specific concept regarding a business, and that business is working in a specific environment and a specific category of products, then the the organization or the business needs to reframe its focus, its vision, to a new resolve, so that majority of the other contents may be absorbed within the organization. Or the next aspect is restructuring. Like for example, if you're having 15 accountants who are working for you for the inventory control and management of the accountancy purposes, and you have reframed the organization, you're going towards the transformation process, then you have to fire certain of the people, because whenever there will be a computerized environment, there will be a lesser necessity for having manual calculations. So those 15 accountants will not be required. Even one or two or three people, a person of the person set can do this thing, or three accountants can do this thing. So what else? If you go for the restructuring, you have to remove these people, but in turn, you have to add certain people. Like you can use those persons, and you can have a certain specific time being assigned to them for training themselves for the information system audit. And that department doesn't exist previously, and this department need to be created whenever you're deploying the information system. So restructuring is again a very important aspect of the transformation. Now let's move towards the revitalization. Revitalization is basically uh, linking of the specific content within the organization with the specific environment in which the organization is working. Like most of the companies, in the international community. They move towards previously, not in the current times. Previously, they have been moving to China because of the friendly environment, low cost electricity, and very cheap labor. So many of the tech giants like Intel Corporation and many of the others, they have opened their specific offices, and they have shifted their manufacturing. In fact, they have initiated new factories, manufacturing factories in China. So whenever it's about revitalization, it's about igniting growth by linking the corporate body to the specific environment concern. Then the last one is renewal. Renewal is basically, you have got to focus on the human resource. Like if you have changed from manual system to the electronic system, then you have to train your people. You have to invest in the people. You have to hire new people. Like in the modern environment, in the current environment, even in Pakistan, there is a large market for the business management graduates and for the information technology graduates. And this thing was not previously being required before 20 years back. uh, if you go 20 years back, you don't have such capacity within the Pakistani or the Karachi business environment. You don't have this capacity. And now, even hundreds or even thousands of graduates are being required every year, because new corporations, whenever they are starting the business, then they need the new blood with the new skills, with new purposes. Um, and by allowing this new intake, the company regenerates itself, the company basically reignites itself. So these are the basically 4 hours of the business transformation. Let's move further. uh, yes, 5 levels of IT inducted reconfiguration, another important thing. uh, how should we do? Where should we start? And how it is being done? So, uh, if you're going to transform the entire business, you have to do it in a step-by-step way. You cannot automate the entire organization like within a day or like overnight. You cannot do all these things. You have to go department by department or section by section, and within that specific section, you have to run the manual system in parallel with the automated system for a certain period of time, so that the results could be verified, and whenever the results are being matched, they are being thrown to the next step. So the step number one is localized exploitation. If I think there is a need for the information system, CBIS, computer based information system, then I'll check for the feasibility. If there is a feasibility, if there is a business requirement, there's a need to change, then definitely those resources which are working within the organization, within a specific a small department or section, we need to focus on that. We have to arrange resources. We have to transform that specific section, and we have to run the manual system in parallel with the CBIS after the deployment of CBIS. CBIS stands for Computer Based Information System. So after certain time, when the results are being tallying with each other, that is the manual system and the automated system, they are providing the same results of the business processes, then we can switch over to the computerized environment, and we can discard the manual system. This is for one department, and this carries on in a loop structure for every department or every section. So let's take an example. Let's suppose there are two departments. Initially, first department was being automated, and after a specific period of time, the second department was being automated. And both of them are individually working with automated environment on separate basis. Like there is a warehouse, like there is a factory, there is a warehouse, and there is, let's suppose, a manufacturing unit, and both of them are located at distant locations. Like one is in warehouse is in, let's suppose, uh, in Karachi somewhere, the warehouse area and industrial area, and let's suppose the manufacturing factory is in hub. So practically, it's not possible to have a single system. Such a large scale network will cost more, and none of the company within Pakistan will invest millions and billions of rupees for a simple network. So they will what they will do, they will go for two separate systems. Each of them will be individually working within a specific area over the intranets. So when both of these systems will be created, they will be integrated. So that's a part number two, internal integration. So if the total number of units that are being manufactured from the factory, they are being transformed to the, let's suppose, warehouse in certain industrial area in Karachi, then And if the information system is being integrated, then automatically we don't need to tell you the content, just the information system will manage everything. The warehouse and the coordination between the warehouse and the manufacturing unit, they will be done through the information system. And if they are being integrated, all these things will automatically be transferred to the warehouse. And the only aspect that needs to be checked is the total number of inventory that's being received at the warehouse physically. It should tally the total value that's being supported by the information system that's being provided by the factory or the manufacturing unit side. So these are basically the evolutionary levels. And there are three other levels, and they are classified as revolutionary levels. The first of the revolutionary phase is business process redesign. The old processes that were in execution in the business with the older systems, older information systems, or the manual information systems will not work in the uh, CBIS, because those paperworks and the information content handover, physical printouts, information content handover from person to person will not be required. So you need to redesign the process. Like in Karachi University, we are having a specific award list for the student. That award list is being printed by the office staff. Numbers are being provided by the faculty. That's being printed by the office staff, and that's being handed over to the chairperson for the final signature. And after that, it's physically being sent to the semester cell. So this is basically handing and taking over of the information content in the physical form, and this process will not be applicable if all these result processing content is being if it's being made available online, then all these stuff will not be required. So the business processes that are in execution in the business, they need to be redesigned. So they will be involving the business process reengineering, a reconfiguration of the business using information technology as a central layer. Next one is business network redesign. That's concerned with the reconfiguration of the scope and tasks of the business network involved in the creation and delivery of the products and services. The business network can be divided into two separate categories. The one network is basically that network that's being a computer-based network, and the another network is the logical network that consists of the business and its external factors. That's the supply chain, the external supply chain, the backward supply chain, and the forward supply chain. So all those people who are responsible, if the company is manufacturing physical goods, and then all those people who are required to supply the raw material, that they lie in the backward supply chain, according to some writers. And whenever the company has value added, and it has gone through the manufacturing process, and then they have converted the raw material into finished goods, then all those things needs to be sent to the end user by the specific front end supply chain. That's the dealer, the wholesaler, the retailer. So that's the logical network that needs to be reconfigured, because in the modern CBIS, all these things are basically gadget based. If you go to a certain medical store, and the person who is responsible for taking the orders for the different medicines, they don't come up with a physical paper pen now. They come with a gadget, they come with a mobile, they come with a mobile application, they open it and they just place the orders. The location is automatically being detected by the mobile, and those companies who are not using the mobile applications, they use specialized gadgets, and those gadgets have the capability to transfer the data through certain means, and that's the computer based network. And that network enables the transfer of the data from that specific gadget instantly from the location of the medical store selling point uh, to the uh, to the specific company's head office, where the orders are being received by the sales and purchase department. So these set of things need to be reconfigured, and this is classified as the business network redesign. Finally, the business scope needs to be redefined. Like if you are dealing in certain functions, then you can add certain functions and you can add certain features that could be useful for the end users who are utilizing your product, and that will be the added then that would be the value addition part to your product. And ultimately, if your product is having a competitor in the market, and this will give you an edge over the competitor, and obviously the customers will come towards your product. So the business scope redefinition is concerned with the underlying principle of a corporation pertaining to the possibilities of enlarging the business mission and scope through related products and services, as well as shifting the business through substitution of traditional capabilities with the IT enabled capabilities. So let's move towards the next topic: information and knowledge economy. Most important thing. Uh, in the previous times, there was no concept of knowledge worker. There was no concept of the knowledge economy. Like in the modern times, you are having certain jobs like information system auditors. Who are they? What they're responsible for? Like in the modern world, you are having social media campaign managers. These sort of managers were not available in the previous times. In fact, these job doesn't exist. These social media marketing managers, they manage campaigns, different campaigns over social media, like over Facebook, like over Twitter, like over Instagram. They execute campaigns for different companies, and they provide series of clients to the company, and they are responsible for generating a large amount of the revenue for the company. uh, so these sort of things, they are basically possible only in the knowledge economy. Knowledge economy is based on the concept that the information is being generated within the society, and that information is being stored, structured, retrieved, and again provided to the society through certain means. And there are different players within this environment. Like in this environment, we are having social media giants like Facebook. Like Facebook charges for the social media campaigns, and Facebook, and there's monetization as well. If you're having a specific account and you're having a specific number of viewers, not in Pakistan but in international market, like in Europe and in America, Facebook provides the monetization capabilities to the users who are using the Facebook. So those people who are having accounts over there, they get certain money from Facebook by placing their ads and so on and so forth. So this is the basic concept of the knowledge economy. Knowledge economy is based on knowledge, knowledge workers. Knowledge is part number one. Part number two is knowledge workers. These workers are responsible for capturing the data from the environment. Like if you're working for a bank, and there comes a walk-in customer who deposits certain amount, then that the cashier or the person who has received the cash, the person will record the transaction in the system, and that's basically the initiation point or the generation point of the information for the system. And the information content or the specific data content that's being generated over here will not be placed only at the branch. It will also be provided to the head office server, and head office server will ultimately be accessed through any of the ATMs. So this sort of thing, so that in this sort of environment, there is very large scale absorption level. There are very large scale absorption levels for the knowledge workers, and knowledge workers are in abundance in today's environment. So this is what we call information and knowledge economy. And let's read the few lines that are written over here. Information work is the art of creating and processing information. We use the term art because some companies do very good job of creating, processing, and managing the information. Others do such a poor job that these tasks become detriment to the success of the organization. Which kind of company do you want to work for or own? Obviously, you don't work for that specific company where the content got detrimented. So obviously you will try to create one of your own company which is having things on the positive side. uh, the knowledge workers are important to the knowledge economy, and knowledge economy uh, is currently pertaining in the current society, and it's basically the further in future it will be supported by the automated bots and the machine learning and the algorithms which are being supported by the machine learning. So all those things which most of the humans are doing right now will be handed over to the automated bots, and that's the basic concept, and that's the basic future of the knowledge based economy. uh, let's move further. uh, Uh, I don't think so. That's that much important. Uh, okay, contemporary approaches. Let's talk about this figure. Let's talk about the technical and the behavioral approaches, and let's conclude the video. uh, the information system that's being deployed in any of the organization, if you're talking about the management information system category of the objects, then there are basically six different aspects that needs to be considered. Number one is the computer science perspective, number two is the management perspective, and number three is the operations research perspective. And all of these three things combine together to provide you the technical approach towards the MIS. uh, what is an information system? These things are already being defined. So as far as management science, you people already have gone through these courses. All those specific arrangements of the human resources and the managerial talent that's responsible for managing the company is classified as a management sciences, whereas the operations research is basically focused on getting the content regarding the different operations within the organization, how they are being performed, how they can be optimized, what are the different things that can be cut down, and further what are the different aspects that when inducted they will benefit the organization while decreasing the specific objects which are being utilized during the process. So these sort of things are basically considered in the operations research phase. It's basically mathematical and computational based research content, which do quantitative research quantitative research for the organization. What else? The other part is the behavioral approach. If you see this figure, there is psychology, economics, and the sociology perspective from the behavioral approach. These three approaches combine together to uh, to become the behavioral approach. These are basically base concept for the longer run of the information system. Issues such as the strategic business integration, the design concept, the specific utilization, management control, and implementation, they cannot be explored usually with the model used in the technical approach. So the behavioral approach is utilized for this thing. So these six aspects they conclude the contemporary approaches to the information system. So let's conclude this video because it would be very lengthy and it would be difficult to convert it to the specific media otherwise. So let's conclude this video and let's start the another one.